to week 2, Old School April vlog. Today is actually Thursday today. It's Thursday the 9th of April. Because I don't know what happened yesterday. Don't you have days sometimes where just it slips through your fingers and you're just like, what I got loads done, but I don't really know where the day went. Anyway, so today is Thursday the 9th of April. And so this is just a weekly vlog about what I get up to at home, which is not a lot really. I don't have a very exciting life. I don't really go out because I'm disabled. So I am trundling around the house most of the time doing bits and bobs. I did a load of washing yesterday. That's exciting as my life gets. But anyway, this is what I've been doing so far for Old School April. I've finished up, I think I was talking about the Seventh Sisters. Oh God, I can't speak. The Seventh Sister by Dawn Kurtagich. I only read a chapter so far because then I realised I was reading 3 other books and I probably should finish them first. But I'm looking forward to getting back into that. Yesterday I finished this one, Goosebumps Horrorland, Who's Your Mummy? So these are set away a little bit differently from normal Goosebumps. I think they came out in the 2000s as well. Um, so the story, the main story, is about a couple of kids who get sent to their uncles, who turns out to be not who he seems, and there's lots of mummy stuff. And then there's a second story, which is the whatever well, this is 6th part of a Horrorland overarching story that takes part in Horrorland, right? So that's a bit confusing. And then there's some kind of quizzes and stuff at the end. And then also there is a short excerpt of the original mummy story from Goosebumps. So it's a bit of everything, but it was good fun. It was really good fun. And they're a little bit darker, these ones, than the original Goosebumps. They're a little bit more macabre. The main story is a little bit more. It's a bit more brutal than perhaps it used to be, but still very much in that kind of thing. But it's very good fun. I also finished this, not another 80s movie by Sean McDonough. I haven't got it in front of me, but you can see it. I've had this on my Kindle for quite a long time, actually. Sean is an indie author, and I read quite a lot of indie horror. And this is wonderful. It's so fun. If you like Richard Lehman, you will love this. It's pure pulp 80s horror. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of boobily moving about, and lots of assing about. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, I don't say ass, of course I'm English, but on there it's American writer, so. But it's all kind of, it's very misogynistic and casual misogyny. It's in a small town where everybody's, all the isms. I mean, it's. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know, right? And there's a mythological um or legend that's in the mountain of these creatures that come out that just do horrific explicit things to people. Do you know what I mean? So that's going on. There's also an abandoned house that's possibly haunted, as an abandoned church that possibly a cult lived in. I mean, it's just, if you take all of those kind of really cheesy, cliched 80s horror tropes and shove them into a book, so this is, it's a love letter to pulp horror, and it's great fun. I had a complete breeze with it. It was just such fun. It was horrific. It was very brutally visceral, right? But majority of the time I was laughing. It was just brilliant. Absolutely loved it. So I'm reading those two, and so I've read those two, so I'll be moving back on to Seven Sister again. I've also been watching a little bit of stuff. I don't really watch a great deal of stuff. I'm not much of a watcher. Don't watch a lot of television. Don't watch a lot of films. I'm just not. It's not my thing really. I prefer to read or to craft. So, but I do absolutely love Tremors, the original film. And my late husband bought me this for Christmas a few years ago. Do you know there's 7 films? 7 films. So anyway, I watched all 7 now. The first, is it the first 2? Obviously. Tremors 2 Aftershocks, and Tremors 3 Back to Perfection. They were all right. I mean, the original one is still the best one, hands down. The other two are only good really because Bert's still in it, you know. And Bert's in all of them actually. And the last one, which I think is called, what's it called? Shrieker's Island. Shrieker Island. I'm pretty sure that's the one with Bert and his son. He didn't know about in it. It's very, very weird. They're all very B movie, funny. You know, monster monster creature feature rather. No, none of them as good as the first one. First three are the best. The other four are kind of they're pulp. I mean a Pulp Fiction kind of thing going on here. They're very pulpy. They're good fun, but no, yeah, the original's the best, absolutely hands down. I also let's just check this cover's okay because I don't want to scare anyone. Um, I think it'll be okay. The Evil Dead trilogy. I watched that one last night night before last when I couldn't sleep. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness. I also watched the bonus version, which is the unmatted original version. This is a great box set. I bought it many, many years ago. So it's got a booklet and everything inside of it, and yeah, it's a great great little box set. So I watched that. So that's what I've got to so far. I haven't done any more Lego. I haven't really done any more crafting. I intended to start my sewing, and I've got it all out, ready to go. And then the cats ran off. Well, one of my cats ran off with some of my cotton, so I thought, I don't know if this is going to go well. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't be bothered to chase around the room, so I put it back in a bag again. So we'll see how that goes, won't we? Oh my god! So yeah, that's where I am so far, my darlings. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading or watching or making. If you're doing old school April, let me know how you're getting on. Let me know. Let me know. Otherwise, I'll speak to you soon. Take care, my loves. Okay, my friends, it's time to crack into the big one. Look at all these lovely little fiddly bits. I can't wait to start. I'm also at the same time reading this, The Seventh Sisters, or Seventh Sister by Dawn Kurtagich. This is a witchy, weird story. It's about these seven sisters, and they're all named kind of after fruits or plants. It's like clementine and juniper and hazel and ivy and all these kind of things anyway, and they're all differentiated by different colours, and something's happened to their parents and they're sent to an island where their grandmother lives, their paternal grandmother, and she's a little bit witchy. She lives in a house that's kind of fallen apart but kind of also kind of like a fairy tale, and it's on this very isolated island. It's really good. So it starts with one sister who runs a bookstore receiving just something in the post that tells her she's got to go back to this island, and then it flits back to when they were children. So now you're going to find out what happened. It's brilliant. There's something quite... It's a folkloric horror, and there's something quite fetid about it, something quite of the earth. So I'm looking forward to this. So I'm reading this at the same time. I'm not far in, but I'm really enjoying it. So yes, but I'm going to start my Lego now because that's today, and I'll be on a live later on YouTube building it. I love all the little fiddly bits. I hope you're having a good day, my darling. It's currently Friday, the 10th of April. Hello, my darlings. It's Saturday, the 11th of April, and day 11 of Old School April. How fast is it going, my friends? It's going too fast, isn't it? But anyway, Gary's back, and I'm wearing my pumpkin t-shirt because just repping Halloween-a-thon. Won't be long. So today I've been carrying on with my Lego. This is really unusual, this Milky Way one. Usually the art prints is you make the background, if anybody's ever done them, you make the frame and then you make the background and then you put bits into the background and then fit them together. This one is completely different. You actually make individual little squares of all the little fiddly bits, which I'm loving. Especially this one. This one is so pretty. Oh my. It's fascinating, and then you kind of clip them together, and it's like a jigsaw in like patchwork. You know, when you used to do patchwork quilts. That's what it reminds me of. But anyway, so I'm proper enjoying that. I'm just going to do the third one. It's going to take me a long time to do this because there's so many fiddly bits. There's about 32 bags of stuff, and each one's full of. I'll show you. Each one's full of hundreds of little bits. So that's fun, which is good because it's an expensive set. So I wouldn't want it to be over in no time. What's happened to me? Record store rockers. Gary, sort yourself out. But also this morning, I've been in a weird mood today. Do you know? I woke up this morning and I just felt weird. And it comes and goes. Do you know what I mean? I just felt, I don't know, I just couldn't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? Do you have days like this, my friends, where you just wake up and you're like, everything's just too much of an effort. So this morning, I'm starting the Lego now. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon. And the old school April hangouts tonight with Kelsey, which I'm looking forward to. I think it's about 6:30 p.m. our time. So I'm waiting for that. By the way, did you all watch the splashdown yesterday on Artemis 2? Ah, to be alive, eh? To be alive and watch that. Incredible. Incredible for the whole world. Do you know what I mean? Incredible. So I love that. But anyway, I love space anyway. I love everything to do with NASA and the space program. So I love that. I'd love to go up, wouldn't you? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being in a spaceship and looking back on Earth? How that would feel? I think I've said this before in a video. So few people have done that. Must be incredible to see. Or to watch instead of watching the moon rise, watching the Earth rise. Astonishing. But anyway, this morning, because I couldn't be bothered, I couldn't be asked, if I'm absolutely honest, to do anything. And I didn't want to read. Oh, by the way, I finished. Still got the blinking bookmark in there, but I don't know what to do with the bookmark. But anyway, I finished The Seventh Sister by Dawn Kurtagich. This is a 5-star read for me. This was incredible. It's full on folklore horror, but it's also about fractured families and secrets and how you're being brought up affects how you are as a person, but also reminds you of who you are. Do you know what I mean? The bonds of sisterhood. It's just it's just incredible how they survive. It's just incredible. I can't recommend it enough. It's just such good fun. I love Dawn's writing anyway. Dawn's specializes in really dark, creepy horror, and she's only her second adult book. She always used to write YA. The first one was A Madness, which was also incredible, but this is just another level of. I mean, it's just there's so many layers. It's like a horror onion, an horror onion. God, that's hard to say. Do you know what I mean? So many layers. It's just exceptional. I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. So I've just finished that one. Not quite sure what I'm going to go on to next. I don't know if I told you, but I did finish Demon, which is the Tales Point Horror Book Club bonus book for this. Is it no main book for this month? Which is the talks on that tomorrow on Sunday, which I hated. I hated that book. I hated it. So I don't know whether to have a go at another point horror. I don't know. I don't know what I fancy. Do you know what I mean? I never used to be much of a mood reader. When my husband was alive, I had a very planned TBR. I never needed to mood read. And now that's all I do is mood read. So I don't know. I've got some new books that have come in, but I'm still trying to keep that kind of nostalgic vibe. Do you know what I mean? So at least if the books are set in the past, but we'll see. But anyway, this morning, so what book I'm going to read, I don't know yet. So this morning, I decided I wanted to watch some horror. And bearing in mind, I was up at 4:00 this morning, so it was still dark when I started. So I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch a film from every generation that I was part of as a child, right? So I was born at the end of the 60s, and I think this book, Oh, deario. What can you do? I don't know what year it came out. I think it was 67. But anyway, so I was so 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Night of the Living Dead, the original by George Romero. Um, I mean, if you're any kind of horror fan, you'd have watched this. I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's not only a fantastic film about zombies and but also about other far deeper riffs that were around at that time in the world, especially in America at the time. So it's just exceptional, and I loved that. Watched that, and then I watched one of my favorite horror films ever. If I had to choose a top three, this would be in the top three: The Wicker Man, the original one. I didn't like the remake, and it's a shame because I love Nicolas Cage, but I just thought it was rubbish. This is incredible. Christopher Lee, Edward Woodward, Britt Eklund, Ingrid Pitt. I mean, it's just the soundtrack alone. I've got the soundtrack for this film, which I'll play regularly. It's just fantastic. This is a collector's edition, which I still need to stick down because I haven't done that yet. I mean, that scene at the end, if anybody's seen it with the Wicker Man and the sunset, it's just the most beautiful piece of cinematography. Are just exceptional. It's about an island that has, their own belief system and a child that's gone missing, and a police from the mainland who is very, very devoutly religious, turning up and finding an alternate religion going on that he's not happy about. And it turns out it's something more than that. But it's a brilliant film, just brilliant. This is the director's cut, so it's about 50 minutes longer than the original. And then from the 80s, Lost Boys. I didn't watch this version. I've got to be honest, this is still in the packet. I watched the other version I've got, which is an older DVD. I don't even remember where I got this. I don't even remember why I think it was an anniversary, maybe. It says iconic moments, so perhaps that's what it was for. Oh, iconic moments. So Warner Brothers, I invite you to celebrate the most iconic moments in film history. This is number 30. I don't even know what cover. I mean, I presume it's the original cover. Yeah, the original cover on the video and the DVD inside. It's just got a weird cover, with maggots, obviously from the. Well, everybody knows that scene, right? So that's from the 80s, and then I believe this was 90s. I think it was 90s, early 90s. The Craft, which is also a fantastic film. As anybody who watches horror knows, we are the weirdos, Mister. Just such good fun. I had such good fun with all of them. So I watched all four this morning for about 4 o'clock, one after the other, while drinking copious amounts of tea, and cuddling cats under me fluffy blanket. So a good day all round. So I am going to go on now and get on with some more Lego and choose another book to read. And hopefully I'll see some of you later on the old school hangout. But happy Saturday, my darlings. This is Shira, Princess of Power, helping me with the Lego. She hates it when I do Lego. Okay, my darlings, it's now Monday the 13th of April, and this is how far I've got with the Milky Way. It's lovely little fiddly bits, but it looks fantastic from a distance, doesn't it? This is also my evening snack. It's about 7 o'clock, so it's like my tea stroke dinner. Just fancied some apple and cheese and crackers. And yeah, and there's the other bit. They kind of, it's like little patchwork, like this, look. Back here, Crispos. It's like little squares, and you just kind of put them together like a patchwork quilt. It's really cool. So yeah, that's how far I've got. Hopefully I'll finish before the end of the vlog. Well, so we go. Hello, my loves. It's now Tuesday, the 14th, possibly 14th of April. So I'm going to be tying this vlog up so I can upload it tomorrow. As I thought I'd do a quick update on the books that I've been reading. I've nearly finished my Milky Way Lego, and if I have finished it by the time I start editing this tomorrow morning, then I'll put the final countdown up, so you can see. I've only got 3 section to go, but I've been reading mainly today. So since I last spoke to you, I finished The Seventh Sister, which is here. Come on, darling, out you come. by Dawn Curtis, which was fantastic. That was, I think I've spoken about it, but it'll be my full wrap up. It was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. At the same time, I was also reading. I do love an autobiography upstairs in my room, my bedroom, when I'm asleep, before I go to sleep. So I've been reading this one, which was the authorized autobiography of Hattie Jakes. Um, for a lot of American um, people who watch this, you probably don't know who she is really, unless you've watched the Carry On films. But she was in a lot of stuff in Britain in the 60s and 70s and 50s. Actually, she died in 1980. I was 11 then. But she's most well known for playing in the Carry On films, and also with Eric Sykes, which was a big TV show in Britain back then. But yeah, it was really, really good. It was very in depth, speaking to all of the people who knew her friends, her co stars, her family. She was, a complicated woman, but incredibly gregarious and loving. And it's just quite a sad tale because, she was known as the fat funny one, and she had incredibly bad self-image issues because of that. Even though by all accounts she was a very beautiful and very sexy woman, she had a problem getting a man, that's for sure. But anyway, so that was really good. I also watched. I also read this, a lollygag, which was recommended to me by somebody. Oh, it's because I'll come to that in a minute. I read this one. It's a very short novella, and it's about this little girl called Lucy, who is trying to watch her favorite cartoon, and her parents are arguing, and she's a bit annoyed about it. And then the cartoon she's watching climbs out of the screen, very kind of ringish, and says, "Do you want your mum and dad to be quiet?" And she says, "Yeah." And so then it turns into a complete gore fest. This is extreme horror, and it is body horror tastic. But it's great cover, isn't it? And great read. It was good fun. But because I read that, because I read this, The 8 Cases of Jane by the same author. I saw another YouTuber talk about this. I think it might have been Carly over at the Pastor Bookcase, or Michaela Reads. What Michaela Reads? One of those two mentioned this, and I had it on my TBR for a long time. I never got to it. I thought, well, I'll have a look. It's a very short novella, and it was great fun. This is about a 21-year-old girl who's in a psychiatric office with a psychiatrist, and has killed 7 men. And he wants to know why, and it's basically that story. Um, it's not what you expect it to be. It's very gory, a lot of body horror. Um, and there's a far deeper meaning to why she killed the men she did. And it's all linked to vengeful, revengeful women of the past. So it's very, very good. Really enjoyed it. And because I'd read that, it recommended the other one. So that's why I watched that. I read that. Watched. I keep saying watched. It's because I'm watching Children of the Corn at the moment. Anyway, so I didn't fancy any of her other ones. Her other ones seemed too extreme for me. I don't mind some extreme or splatterpunk, but it has to be something that I find amusing as well as kind of, interesting. I don't like things that are just gratuitous and disgust me. So these two were the best of the two of what she's written, I think. I mean, if you love extreme horror, you'll probably love her stuff. But I'm not. I don't want to be disgusted when I read. But I enjoyed those two. I'm also almost finished um, Doors of Darkness. This is the mole. Because, of course, Old School April is Mole Madness. This is 16 stories all about a mall in the 80s. It's set all around July 4th holiday, or 4th of July holiday in the United States. And yeah, it's great. Lovely stories. It's kind of about shoppers, about the creepiness of malls, about, you know, the shops. I mean, malls are creepy, aren't they? They are. Especially if there's not many people in there, and especially at night. Do you know what I mean? Like schools. Schools, it's got the hallways, isn't it? It's the hallways that make them creepy, right? But anyway, so I've nearly finished that. I've got a couple more stories left to go. So that's where I am to the end of this week. And I'm watching Children of the Corn because South Point Horror Book Club Movie Club this weekend on Sunday is this one. Children of the Corn, with special guest Dawn Kurtigich, who wrote The Seventh Sister, and she's always good fun. So yeah, I'm watching that at the moment. And yeah, I'm just trying to finish the Milky Way. But apart from that, I'm fine. Waiting for a grocery delivery today. She'll be coming in a couple of hours. And my sister arrives on Saturday, unexpectedly. It's an unexpected additional visit. She doesn't normally come till She doesn't come into the end of June. She comes about every 3 months. So this is one in the middle. She just needs a break, and that's fine. So she's coming down for a week or two on Saturday. So you might hear her in the background of the next few weeks' videos. But anyway. So I hope you're okay, my lovely. I hope you've read some fantastic things for Old School April, or if you're not, whatever you've done, I hope you've enjoyed what you're reading. And yeah, on to week 3, which is terrifying, isn't it, really, how quick it's going. I'm really struggling to keep up with the photo prompts on Instagram because life be lifing, and I've had a few things happen in the last few days I've had to sort out. So, but I'm trying to keep up as best as I can. And I really need to actually register my points because I haven't done that yet. But anyway, you take care, my loves, and I'll see you on next week's vlog. If you like this, please give me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you like being on this little corner of the internet. And remember, stay warm, stay hydrated, keep reading fantastic books, building Lego, watching stuff you love, doing whatever brings you joy. And I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye. This is a little addendum. This is my craft for this week. This is the Lego Milky Way. Looks great from a distance, but close up, look at all those little fiddly bits. Oh, I loved building this. This was great. I don't think it's very straight on the wall, but I'm not that worried about it. It's really cool. Next to my commissioned art piece of the spaceships. So, spaceship! So cool, isn't it? Anyway, my darlings, have a fantastic week. Bye!